Hi everyone, welcome back to another vlog. Well, I guess this is another video because this is not a vlog. I've been making like videos here and there, but I feel like you don't actually like know me. I always kind of like slightly introduce myself, but I thought I'd make a little like get to know me video, and I'm also gonna be talking about the school I go to. So let's get into it. All right, well first off, if you're new here, or if you're not, hi, my name is Rachel Sulik. I am going to be a rising senior at Point Park University as a dance major with a concentration in jazz. I'm originally from Ohio, so I'm not too far from where I am now, but I have been kind of like just living here for the past 3 years, and I kind of continue to live in Pittsburgh. Growing up, I was dancing about 35-40 hours a week once I got into high school, and as my mom being one of my dance teachers growing up, I was just always at the studio. So I really didn't have a life outside my dance studio, like truly. I was just there all the time. I did go to public school for like schooling. Besides that, I was basically just at the studio. I was never really one to go to dances. I would go to someone at my studio's dances because I was like, I didn't really like talk to people at my own school. So I would always go to someone else, like at another school. With like a group of us. It was always so much fun. But my last year, I was planning on going to the dances. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I knew I wasn't gonna be able to go to prom because prom wrapped around our spring production for my ballet company. It was still kind of hard to, my senior year was just all COVID. So COVID started, for reference, for me, COVID started my junior year, like end of junior year. So I didn't have an end of junior year, and then I basically didn't have a senior year at all. I was probably like in person for 2 months maximum. And like I said, I was gonna make myself go to all of the dances. Obviously not prom, but like I was gonna go to homecoming and winter formal. And then COVID happened and none of those happened. Prom happened last minute. But obviously, like I said, I wasn't going anyway. It had been announced that proms were allowed to happen, and they threw something together like in 2 weeks. On to my hobbies. Obviously, I don't get paid to make these videos. You don't see enough videos come out for me to get paid to do these. And if you look at the views, I'm not getting paid. I do this out of pure joy. I started making these videos for one of my best friends, Hope, who lives on a cruise ship, and her first contract had lasted 9 months, and that was the most time we'd ever been away from each other. The most was like 2 months, maybe. I decided what better way to keep her in my life and keep her updated about my life than to make YouTube videos. Started making them in January of 2023. Right as she left for her first contract, literally like that week, I made my first video. If you ever look back at those videos, if I ever looked back at those videos, there's a massive change from my first video to now. When I started making these videos, I made one a week, and that's what I still do. I just do one a week. When I first started these, I would edit them that night and then post them and send it out to them because it would just be unlisted. I would send it to a few people, but of course now I've posted a few publicly. But I have really loved doing these YouTube videos, and even though not all of them go public yet, I just still find it so fun to film about my day, romanticize my life a little bit once a week, maybe sometimes it's a few times a week. As you guys saw on my page, if you haven't, go check it out. It's a week of my life at Point Park. So sometimes it's a day in my life, sometimes it's a week in my life. Who knows, honestly. Depends on how much is happening in my life at that moment, to be for real with you. But I've also loved editing. If I ever got paid to make YouTube videos, okay, I'm not like striving to become an influencer or like to get paid for these videos. I just think they're fun to make. But I do love editing. I think it's a very tedious process, so sometimes I can get very tired while doing it. I use iMovie in case you have ever wondered. Other hobbies I have. I do love to watch movies and TV shows. I have a list of movies and TV shows that I want to watch. I love to watch like new stuff. It may not be like new, but just like it's new to me. Like last summer I watched The Rookie for the first time, and now I'm like invested in that show. I watched The Marvelous Miss Maisel last summer. Just such a good show. Oh my god, if you need a recommendation, watch Marvelous Miss Maisel. Not sponsored. But also, I am a big MCU fan, Marvel Cinematic Universe fan. Always have, always will. Yeah, so I do love to watch movies and TV shows. I'm watching Grey's Anatomy right now. I've never had access to it, but I do really like the show. That is my goal this summer. Some other things to know about me. I have 2 puppies back at home. Not actually puppies. I have 2 dogs back in Ohio. Their names are Tony and Jeffrey, and they're 2 pit bulls. I absolutely love them dearly. Miss them every day. I have 3 siblings. I have an older brother and then 2 younger siblings. Oh my god. If you haven't guessed yet from watching my week in the life, or maybe you saw my short, or you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, I'm a major Taylor Swift fan. I'm wearing friendship bracelets right now. If you ask me to decide on a favorite song, favorite era, favorite genre of her music, I can't give you one. I just love them all. I do love working out. During the school year, I work out 3 days a week, and then during the summer, I work out 6 days a week, and then my 7th day is like a recovery day. And lastly, I will just talk about what I'm gonna be doing over this summer, what I'm looking forward to, my goals for this summer. I like where I work. I love my job a lot, but I'm also doing some really exciting things this summer. I'm gonna be taking singing lessons through CLO, and I am so excited for that. I have been telling myself that I was going to do this probably all school year, and I'm very thankful for my parents for paying for the lessons. But yeah, so I'm gonna be taking singing lessons through CLO, and I'm also gonna be taking aerial arts classes. I'm gonna be doing one of their 6-week sessions that start in June. So I'm super excited to do that. Obviously, one of my goals this summer is to go to the gym 6 days a week. Some days are harder than others. I am also, I try to see my family a few times. It is hard with my work schedule, and I'm trying to save money. So I try to really work around my work schedule. I'm gonna be going home in June for a few days in July to cheer on one of my good friends who is in Back to the Future Broadway tour. So I'm gonna be seeing her in July. I'm so excited to see her. And then in August, I'm gonna be going to a Lindsey Stirling concert. And then afterwards, I'm also gonna be spending a week with my family in Ohio. And then I will come back, and then school starts. Speaking of school, like I've said, I go to Point Park University in downtown Pittsburgh, and I'm gonna be a rising senior. So let's talk about it. So as a senior, if you're watching this saying, what do you guys do before you come in? How did I get into Point Park? Let's start there. The year that I auditioned was obviously COVID, so there was no in-person auditions. It was all virtual. So I was just sending in self-tapes to all my colleges, all my universities, and just hoping that someone liked me. Thankfully, my dream school was always Point Park. I have wanted to go to Point Park since I was in 8th grade. Found it doing a college research paper project because I didn't go to DC for the 8th grade field trip. That's how I found Point Park, fell in love with it, and was like, this is where I'm gonna go. I got in, obviously. So I am very happy here. Obviously we have our ups and downs. No university is perfect. I have loved my time here at Point Park. I can't believe it's gonna be my senior year. Freshman year, you come in, obviously they give you your schedule. You don't get to pick your schedule for your first year, but you do have your concentration. So we have jazz, ballet, and modern. Obviously, I'm a jazz concentration. I always have, but it's okay if you switch. A lot of people switch. So when you come in, there is a thing we call it freshman boot camp, but don't let that scare you. It's basically just the fact that you do what the concentrations do, but you do what all concentrations do. So you have ballet 5 days a week, jazz 4 days a week, and modern 4 days a week. It can be a little tiring, but you will make it through. I promise you. I also want to say that you have to take care of yourself, to take care of your body, take care of your mind. You gotta sleep, you gotta eat, because it can be challenging with all the classes your freshman year. But yes, it can be very tiring, but that is okay because you have your friends by you to help you. A lot of freshmen do decide to transfer, switch, drop out, decide that they'd rather just move somewhere where they can dance and not have to pay for college. Everyone has a different path, and that's okay. Not everyone's gonna be meant for Point Park. Not everyone's gonna be meant for this school, that school. It's all up to you in your life journey. So no hate to anyone who has left the school, decided they wanted to go somewhere else. There's no hate to them because every program's different, so you have to find what's right for you. So I'm just thankful that Point Park has been right for me more than I knew it would be. But you also take classes as a jazz concentration. We take classes in improvisation. We have to take a singing class, an acting class, tap class. We take jazz 4 days a week. So after your freshman year, You do split off into your concentration. Of course, if you're a ballet concentration, you do take POINC your freshman year. And besides that, it doesn't really matter what concentration you are, because as you get there, you might find that you like a different concentration more and you might switch. A lot of people switch, and that's okay. Once you hit your sophomore year, you do split into your concentrations. You're doing jazz with your concentrations, and then for me, I take a supplemental ballet and modern class. So I take ballet with modern cons and jazz cons, and then for modern, I take class with ballet cons and jazz cons. So it's like you have your concentration class and then you have your supplements with the other concentration that's not that concentration. If that makes sense. It's all an exciting time. It can be really fun. I was also a psychology minor for a little bit. For 2 years. I declared it at the end of my freshman year. It was really just because I do like psychology. Never want to go anywhere with it, but I do really like psychology. I think it's intriguing to learn about the brain and how we behave. But like I said, never wanted to do anything with it. As part of like our core courses, we have to take 2 understanding people credits. So I was gonna take 2 psychology classes that would also count towards my core classes. And then I'd only need 5 more for my minor. And I was like, wow, that's easy. But then things changed and I found out I started to take a class that I didn't know I had to take, and I really wanted a home senior year. My freshman schedule, my first semester looked like I had ballet, jazz, modern. I had oral communications, which is just like a speech class basically. And then I also had city university life. Just learning about the city we literally live in, the city we're downtown in. While editing this, I realized I didn't do a very good job at saying what classes I actually took. I also took improv and music fundamentals, which is basically just learning about rhythm and music. And then my spring semester, as you're about to hear, I also took tap and also somatics. My spring semester, ballet, jazz, modern, and then I had English, elements production, which is also another class you have to take as a dance major. Literally the other parts are just not the dancing side. How a production can be made. Going into my sophomore year is when I started my psychology minor, so I was taking a psych class, psychological foundations, and that's also when you start your concentrations, like I said. So I had jazz 4 days a week. The way the supplemental classes work, your concentration and then your 2 supplementals. And your 2 supplementals have to it goes 3 days a week and 2 days a week, and then you would swap it and go 2 days a week, 3 days a week. So I always start with ballet as my 3 days a week, and then I do modern 2 days a week in the fall, and then it switches in the spring, and I take ballet 2 days a week and modern 3 days a week, if that makes sense. It can be a little confusing to explain. Wow, am I not good at this. My fall semester, I also took kinesiology for dancers and French, and then my sophomore year spring semester, I also took dance history 1, pedagogy, and I also took theories personality as my psych minor class. So then going into my junior year is when I took my acting and my singing class along with some more core credits and my psychology minor, but I unfortunately had to drop it about a month and a half ago just due to scheduling issues. Honestly, it's kind of sad how much classes I miss talking about this. My fall and spring semester of my junior year, I also took Contemporary Partnering 1 and 2. I took Abnormal Psychology, a math class, and also Dance History 2 and Ethical Leadership as my business core credit. And I also took Intermediate TAP. Oh my god, I forgot to mention. So, another class that all dance majors have to take, or 3 classes that they have to take, is a composition class where we learn how to choreograph. So we have to take 3 composition classes. The third one is our senior capstone project. It is basically performance. You choreograph, you do the whole process, we do our auditions, so you get picked, casted, and then we have the whole process with our choreographers, and then it's literally a show. It's a student choreography project is the show, if you've heard of it. I took my first 2 classes my sophomore year. I had some really cool teachers to do it with. Our staff is amazing. So on to the faculty of POINC Park and our facilities. We have absolutely amazing staff at our school. They do not get enough attention. They should get more. We appreciate them so much. I have loved all my teachers I've had over my courses. I've loved all of them. They're all amazing. Can't speak any more on it. And our facilities are also top notch. We have absolutely amazing studios, and some days I can take them for granted, but I try not to play. I grew up in a studio that had small studios, and so to get here with these massive studios, it's amazing. They are so beautiful, and they're just state of the art. They're awesome. I would also love to talk about our athletic trainers. We have amazing athletic trainers through UPMC, which has one of the top sports medicine programs in the nation. And so we have 3 amazing trainers as of this moment. Through them, my trainer is the best. I love her so much. I love all the trainers. They're all so helpful. So I am grateful to be able to go to them without having to pay extra. Freshman year, you do take, it's not like a test to see how good you are, like strength-wise. It's a, hey, here's stuff that can help you become a stronger dancer, just to make your body stronger and your joints and everything stronger so you're not getting injured as much. It's more like an injury prevention test to see where you are, your knee strength, hip strength, and they're like, hey, here's some exercises so that we don't accidentally catch an injury. And it's very helpful. They give you a little QR code that goes to an app with all of your exercises. I go at least 2 times a week. For the past year, it's been for my shoulder. I have a very hypermobile shoulder. So basically there's actually nothing wrong with it. I've had x-rays and an MRI with like a liquid injection. They don't see anything wrong. So I just have a very hypermobile shoulder. So I go in 2 days a week to do exercises, but I can also go in if I need something massaged out. They have like boots, like those massage boots. You want to take an ice bath, you want to use their massage guns. If you need cupping, if you need stim and heat. I absolutely love our trainers at our school. I cannot say anything horrible about them. I would not be where I'm at right now. They have caught injuries. They've helped me with all sorts of different body parts, so I'm very grateful for them. So on to auditions. But we auditioned for all of our shows, 6 shows in a year. When I came in to the school, we had them separated out, but then starting my sophomore year, I want to say, so starting 2 years ago, they pushed them all to the beginning of the year. Like all 3 would happen within a week and a half. I call it a week because it can be very tiring. Auditions can happen anywhere from 6:30 to 10 to 6:30 to 10:30, depending on how many rooms they have. It's usually 4, sometimes they have 5 rooms. And so we all get numbers, we take our picture for the first audition, and then they just use that for the rest of the auditions for the semester. We go in, we learn choreography in probably like 10-15 minutes, and then we go into our groups, showcase us. There is a lot of opportunity to perform. However, you can just be what they're not looking for in that moment. My freshman year, I was not picked at all, which I was like, okay, it's fine, whatever, I'm a freshman. My sophomore year, I was in 5 out of 6 shows. The only show I wasn't in was the winter, so fall semester 3rd show. And this school year, I wasn't in any shows, which I am okay with. I have no hate. I believe that people should be in shows. We are here to also learn how to perform, but I do also understand the process. And it's also been very helpful for me to understand hearing no. You're gonna hear no more no's than yeses in the dance industry, entertainment industry in general. It's important to start hearing that. As soon as college starts hitting, that's when you're gonna start getting all those rejections. Not everything is meant for you, but what is meant for you will come to you. That's what I believe. And I also believe in manifestation. Manifest the shit out of it if you want it. Once you're casted in a piece, it is for student choreography, it's a 2-month process. And for the other show, everything else, it is a 1-month process. It's a 3 weeks of rehearsals, 1 week of tech, and then your show for a week. Shows always happen Wednesday through Sunday, usually about the 3rd week of the month. It can be a very intense process because you're doing rehearsals from 6:30 to 10. And then you can also have rehearsals on the weekend. For the other shows, when we have someone come in, like we hire someone to come in and choreograph something, they're usually there for about a week or 2, and then they leave. That's why we have rehearsals on the weekend, so that they can get everything done, get everything to how they want it to look, and then they leave. And then we have a rehearsal director that's always faculty that makes sure the dance stays in great shape, or maybe to say, hey, this is happening, what do you want to do about it? And so they'll communicate back and forth with the person. So for the faculty show that we have in the spring, since there is no one that's leaving because it's faculty, there is no rehearsals on the weekend, which I'm very grateful for because I do work and I work on the weekends. So it can be a little challenging for me trying to make money and pay for my apartment when I'm in shows, which is why I was, in light of the fact that I wasn't casted, I was also grateful because then that meant that I could work and make money so that I could actually afford to live where I live. So there is up and downs to everything that happens in life. Although I would love to be performing on the stage. As far as not performing on the stage this school year, another class or 4 classes that you have to take at this school is production, rehearsal, performance, which basically just means when you're in that class, you either need to be performing or you get put on crew. I've had the lovely chance of being on crew 3 times. I just kind of made it so that I did one each school year, and then my junior year I did one for each semester so I could finish it and be done. My freshman year, I was in the costumes department. These last 2 years, we've had a new person where we got to request the show we wanted to be in the department we wanted to be in. And because I have friends in the show and best friends in the show that I didn't want to miss, I decided to do crew, where I stood on the sides so I could at least watch all of their shows and cheer them on while I did props, lighting, gels. I cleaned the stage before the show. On a serious note about safety with the school, they try the best that they can with living in a city, but you also have to care for yourself. I carry around a pepper spray. I used to also have a birdie, which is basically like that thing that just like when you yank it from the keychain, it makes a very loud sound. And that goes for all genders. Always be aware of your surroundings. But I do absolutely love this city. I call our university a pizzazz intersection because we are a very small school. It's basically around one intersection, which is very silly. To wrap up this video, I will say, of course, there are pros and cons to wherever you go. So it's really just about what you feel is important to you. For me, I always just want to do it at Point Park. I really loved the training and just how we do have to do everything. And there's so many different types of classes. That's what when I saw the school, that's what I was like, I want to go there. But in all seriousness, as far as money goes, the school does not have out-of-state fees, which I have always been super grateful for considering I'm out of state. Literally any other university is going to be a certain price, and then COPA, or Conservatory of the Performing Arts, is going to be another price. So the rest of the school, as of right now, for the year 2024-2025, about $38,000, not including the other small fees. And then COPA is gonna be $10,000 more a year, just because of our facilities and the fact that we do have more classes than like other, at least that's what I assume, is that it's because we have more classes than other majors. We always have classes on Fridays, unlike other majors who most of them do not unless they choose to. I am very grateful for Point Park and all that it has brought me. I am excited for my last year at Point Park. I'm excited to see where it takes me, see where life takes me. So that's it for this video. Thank you for following along, watching, and if you have any more questions, please feel free to DM me, put a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer questions if you have any more. I love you guys to the moon and back. Thanks for watching.